Okay. All right, let's get this thing going. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the CAL FIRE Office of the State Fire Marshal's NERIS webinar series. My name is Kara Garrett, and I will be available for technical assistance during this webinar. This webinar will last about an hour, and it will be recorded and posted on our website with the slide deck afterwards. Please type any questions into the Q&A portion of your screen, and after the presentation concludes, we will be holding a question and answer session. Should you encounter any issues, please do not hesitate to give me a call at 916-201-5539 or send me an email at kara.garrett@fire.ca.gov. I have put all this information in the chat as well, but please, like I said, let me know if you have any questions. Let's continue. Okay, I will now turn it over to Chief Mike Moreland, who will be sharing more information about the National Emergency Response Information System. Take it away, Chief.
Okay, this party started. Let's see if I can do this here. Share my screen. Okay, you have me?
I believe so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hey, everyone, and welcome. My name is Mike Moreland. I'm a Deputy Chief with CAL FIRE, leading our CalStats program, which oversees all fire incident reporting and fire data across California. I'm excited you're here today for our NERIS webinar, the National Emergency Response Information System, and why this matters to every fire department across the state. Whether you're a fire chief, a records manager, a data analyst, or just here to learn, you're part of this change. And we want to make sure you're not just ready for NERIS. We want California's fire service to be leading this transition. Now, some of you may have sat through USFA or other NERIS webinars already, or those done by your RMS vendor. And yes, you'll see some familiar slides, but that's on purpose. It's critical that no matter where you are in California, you're hearing a consistent message and you know exactly what's coming. Today isn't just about a new system. It's about improving how we protect lives, property, and communities with better data, real-time analytics, and smarter decision-making. Before we dive into updates, I want to start with a quick story because it really shows why NERIS matters, not just for big departments, but for all of us. Recently, Hayfork Volunteer Fire Department reached out to us. They're a small, all-volunteer agency in Northern California. And like a good department, they were worried about capturing good, accurate data. Right now, they're using an RMS to report to their LEMSA, and they're also reporting separately into eNFIRS. That's a lot of work, a lot of redundancy, and it's exactly why a change to NERIS is needed. After walking them through what's coming with NERIS, their chief realized something surprising. NERIS could actually save them time. It could even save them money. Instead of upgrading or buying expensive new systems, they can use the free NERIS data collection app to meet all their reporting requirements. Now they're feeling excited instead of overwhelmed. And that's the real goal here, to make reporting easier, not harder. Whether you're a department running 2,000 calls a year or 200. All right, let's jump into today's session. Before we get rolling, let's take a quick look at where we're headed today. Here's what we'll be covering in this session. A quick refresher on why this change is happening and what problems we're aiming to solve. A quick overview of how NERIS is different from eNFIRS and what it brings to the fire service. Key dates and milestones you'll want to have on your radar. What your department needs to be doing right now to get ready. What's changing, what's ending, and when. And how to stay connected and get the latest updates moving forward. At CAL FIRE, our role is simple. Help departments understand what's changing and why. Provide resources, updates, and support during this transition. Make sure every fire agency in California is ready when the time comes. Spread good information and ensure a unified approach statewide. Now, one important note, we're not here to troubleshoot your RMS system or NERIS itself. That's the job of your RMS vendor or the NERIS technical support team. Our focus is giving you the right information at the right time so your department can plan, prepare, and move forward with confidence. The goal today isn't just to check a box. It's to equip you to lead your department through this transition smoothly. All right, let's jump into how we got here and why now's the time for this change. Just a reminder, NFIRS has been around since the 1970s. The fire service has evolved dramatically, but NFIRS really hasn't kept up. That's why this change to NERIS is so important. Before we dive deeper, here's a quick refresher for anyone new. NERIS is the future. It's replacing NFIRS to help fire departments capture better data, not just fires, but all hazards, faster, smarter, and in near real time. It's designed to help your fire department make stronger decisions, protect your crews and communities, and show the real impact of your work. Smarter data, stronger decisions, safer communities. Here's where we've been. For decades, NFIRS stood as the foundation for the fire service data. It has been built for a different era. And to be honest, there's still debate on whether it ever truly served us well. And like any old structure, it started to show its age. Cracks formed, the windows of opportunity like near-time data, smarter insights, stayed shut. It simply wasn't designed for today's fire service or the complex emergencies we face now. And just like any aging building, there comes a time when patching just isn't enough. We need a full teardown, a fresh start. And this right here is where we are today. The demolition phase is nearly over. Departments like yours, stepping up as early adopters, are part of the construction crew right now. We are building the system from the ground up with a strong system architecture, smarter data schemas, and real-time API connections coming into place. No, the skyscraper isn't done yet. We're still not seeing all the polished dashboards and real-time insights today. But the most important work is happening right now, setting the foundation strong enough to support the next generation of fire service data across the country. And every department onboarding now is helping build something that will serve us for decades. And this is where we're headed. The finished product isn't a pretty face, it's analytics at your fingertips. It's near real-time decision-making, right when you need it. It's stronger community risk reduction with better insights into who and what we're protecting. NERIS gives fire departments the tools to move faster, think smarter, and operate at a higher level. For the smallest volunteer company to the biggest metro agency, this system is designed to lift all of us higher. And just like this new skyline, the future of the fire service will be built on something solid, resilient, and ready for anything. NFIRS, yeah. It's been like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole for years. Reporting didn't match the realities of the job. Firefighters struggled to complete reports that didn't truly reflect the work. We know it, and you know it. But now we're taking the off-ramp to a system that actually understands modern fire service needs. Welcome to NERIS. Stay reporting with your current RMS or ENFIRS system for now. No rush, no panic. Keep doing what you're doing until your department officially makes the jump to NERIS. 2025 equals the hybrid year. Some departments will still be in NFIRS, some will move into NERIS. But remember, no department reports into both at the same time. One system, one report. Your RMS vendors are already plugging into NERIS behind the scenes, getting ready for this shift. We're staying in close touch with them, so you'll know exactly when your system is ready. You'll get a glimpse of that today. Stay locked in. If you're not already signed up for the NERIS updates and webinars, do it. We're making sure no department is left wondering what's next. And here's the headline. NFIRS will cease to exist after December 2025. Starting January 1st, 2026, it's full speed NERIS coast to coast. So think of 2025 as your on-ramp. 2026 is where the real freeway opens up. And just a quick note, NERIS wasn't built overnight. Over the last year or more, departments and the NERIS team across the country have been hands-on shaping it, testing it, and helping guide version 1 to launch. The important thing is, NERIS has been built with the fire service from the ground up. Before we jump into the next steps, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the departments who have stepped up early. Across the country, 48 states were represented in the NERIS Early Adopter Program. Nearly 500 fire departments submitted requests to participate, and 56% of all career departments are already involved. That's huge. Here in California, several agencies are leading the way. CAL FIRE, Fresno City Fire, Lathrop, Manteca Fire District, Nevada County Consolidated Fire District, Orange County Fire Authority, Sacramento Metro Fire, San Bernardino County Fire Department, and most recently added to join the early adopter ranks, City of Manhattan Beach and Selma Fire Department. And just this week, we've submitted more early adopters from California. These departments are not just helping us test NERIS, they're helping shape it. Their feedback ensures that the system works for California's fire service and beyond. So huge thanks to all of them for stepping up early and making sure the voice of the fire service is heard. Let's spotlight one of those fire departments doing the work right now. Today, we're out front to highlight one of the early adopter departments, Nevada County Consolidated Fire District. They're helping shape the early phase of NERIS, and even though they couldn't be here live, they're making sure small and mid-sized agencies have a voice in this transition. Nevada County Consolidated Fire District is working closely with ESO and are ahead of schedule in prepping their data. Even though they couldn't join us today, we want to recognize their leadership and their help shaping the future of fire data reporting for California. We asked them a few questions about their experience so far with the transition to NERIS, and here's what they shared. We asked why they decided to become an early adopter and how they heard about it. They told us we wanted to see the changes were going to be, get ahead of it, and inform our personnel of changes to come. We asked what the process has been like so far, what's gone smoothly, and what's been challenging. They said the process has been very informative. The challenging part has not been able to really get in there and play with the system yet, since we're still submitting incidents to NFIRS. Totally understandable. A lot of early adopters, including us, and others are feeling that too. And we talked about this in our last webinar. This is going to be a change for a lot of us. We'll talk more about that in a few. I asked them how their RMS vendor ESO supported them during the transition. They shared that ESO has been supportive, asked them for ideas on information flow, and showed them the new system interface. I love hearing that the RMS vendors are partnering closely. That's awesome. We also asked for any advice to give to other fire departments getting ready to transition. Their advice? Share the webinars. Inform your personnel early. Change is hard, even if it's an easier path. People are naturally resistant. Yes, they're right. Communicate early. Communicate often. Remember, change is inevitable. Exactly the right approach. Keep the conversation going even before go live. Finally, we asked, what's one thing you're looking forward to once you're fully live in NERIS? Their answer? Data. Good data. Data that actually helps with the decisions and shows personnel the importance of entering it. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's the whole mission. Huge thank you to Nevada County Consolidated Fire District for stepping up as an early adopter and sharing your experience with us. We know it's not easy always being first, but you're helping shape NERIS. Here's the bigger picture of what NERIS is really about. For years, fire departments have been stuck operating in isolated systems. CAD data over here, RMS reports over there, EMS transport information somewhere else. NERIS is changing that. At the heart of this system is a powerful API infrastructure. APIs are what allow different systems to talk to each other securely and instantly. Instead of manually transferring information or working from disconnected databases, NERIS lets us tap directly into the true emergency services data ecosystem. Imagine your CAD system automatically feeding critical timestamps into your RMS. Your wildland fire reporting syncing seamlessly into your community risk assessments. I know that's what we want. Your FEMA grant applications pulling real operational stats all in near real time. This isn't just about faster reports. It's about smarter decisions, stronger intelligence, and real-time operational awareness, all built on a connected data. Now that you've seen an overview, let's zoom in. NERIS isn't just another reporting platform. It's built to connect the systems that power today's fire service. At the center is NERIS, surrounded by a web of connected data sources that enhance every report. Partial insights, land value, square footage, year built, and acreage automatically pulled for every incident. Real-time weather, temperature, wind, humidity, and precipitation captured at the time of the call. People, places, and infrastructure, building types, community demographics, and transportation data pre-integrated. Hazards and conditions, risk exposure, recent activity, and interagency resource data in one place. NextGen 911, FEMA Go, and NEMSIS, integrated dispatch details, grant data, and EMS reporting, all working together. Instead of juggling disconnected systems, NERIS brings it all into one connected, evolving environment. The result, less duplication, better data, more time to focus on what matters. Let's talk about one of the biggest value adds of NERIS, analytics. For many fire departments, this will be the first time they can access real-time, actionable insights tailored to their operations. Whether you're a firefighter, company officer, or fire chief, career or volunteer, NERIS is designed to make your data work for you. These interactive dashboards will be free, customizable, and constantly evolving to better serve agencies of all sizes. What you're seeing here is just a preview of the live dynamic analytics already in development, and there's more on the way. Let's look at something you probably run into all the time. One of the biggest improvements coming with NERIS is the ability to report up to three incident types at once. Why does that matter? Because in the real world, emergencies aren't simple. When you roll up on a crash with injuries, people trapped, and a vehicle fire, it's not just a car accident, it's a medical emergency, a rescue operation, and a fire incident, all happening at once. In NFIRS, we had to try to squeeze all that into a single box. With NERIS, we finally capture the real complexity of what's happening on scene without losing critical details. This change means more accurate reporting, stronger situational awareness, faster, smarter decision-making at every level, from the fireground to leadership. And ultimately, it means we can better tell the true story of what our departments are actually doing and why it matters. Whether it's about staffing, funding, prevention programs, or after-action reviews, NERIS gives us a clearer picture we've needed for a long time. One of the best things about NERIS is that it's flexible. It meets you where your department is today, not where you wish it was. You don't have to wait for the perfect tech setup to start moving forward. Here's how it works. Basic level, you don't have a CAD or RMS system connected yet? You can use the free NERIS data capture app to submit your reports. This is perfect for departments currently reporting directly into NFIRS. Intermediate level, if you've got a CAD system but no RMS, NERIS can take your CAD data and push it right into the system. This bridges the gap while you build out your full infrastructure. Advanced level, if you're already using a CAD and RMS system, and your RMS is connected to CAD, your data can flow directly into Nerys through API connections. Systems like ImageTrend, ESO, FirstDo, and others are near ready right now. Whatever level you're at today, Nerys gives you a path forward, and your RMS vendors are working hard behind the scenes to make this even easier. Let's break down the Nerys transition process. It's not a single flip of the switch. It's a two-phase journey for every department. Phase 1. Before any reporting starts, departments need to build their foundation inside Nerys. This means entering key information like your operations, staffing, deployment models, and geographic areas you serve. We'll walk through what that looks like in just a minute. Phase 2. Once your department's profile is set, it's time to move into active reporting. You'll either submit data using the free Nerys collection app or using your records management system. Your data can flow directly into Nerys through vendor integration. The whole point of this two-step approach is simple: to make sure every department is fully ready and operational before we officially make the jump. It's about building a solid foundation first and then making the transition as smooth and disruption-free as possible. Here's the big picture for 2025. Nerys is rolling out nationally in 5 key phases to make sure every department transitions smoothly before NFIRS is fully retired. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are happening now. Early adopters are live or starting, and departments have entered the system. Each FEMA region has its own timeline. So remember, departments will get guidance based on where they're located. The goal is full nationwide adoption by the end of 2025. And we want everyone to be ready and confident when the switch flips. And here's the real takeaway. If you haven't already connected with your RMS vendor or confirmed your onboarding timeline, now's the time to do it. Again, if you haven't heard from your RMS vendor about Nerys yet, it's time to reach out. Don't wait for them to come to you. Remember, your RMS vendor is a key part of your Nerys transition team. Staying proactive now will save your department time, effort, and frustration later. Think of it like checking your gear before a call. You don't want to find out something's missing when it's time to go. This phased-out rollout ensures system reliability and scalability as more departments transition to Nerys. Each state has a scheduled onboarding window. This chart right here gives a general timeline for each region. So far, Nerys has been rolled out to 319 departments, and 175 departments are in progress right now. This approach allows time for training and support so that departments have the resources they need before going live. California agencies are expected to transition in November. Just note that as you may be expected to transition in November, this could be sooner, especially setting up your department's profile within Nerys or your respective RMS. One of the biggest challenges we're seeing is that not all vendors will be Nerys compliant. Look for the Nerys compatible badge. This badge means your vendor has completed all required testing and can integrate properly with the system. Over the last 2 months, we've contacted nearly 600 departments across California to confirm their contacts and identify Nerys leads. If you have any questions about your vendor or the transition process, please contact us after this session. We're here to help. And some great news. We already have 11 vendors and 1 more coming soon that have successfully earned their Nerys compatible badge. Fireline Fireproof Tech, Response Rack, EPR Systems, Firehouse 247, ImageTrend, Fire Programs, Alpine Software, FirstDo, ESO, Echo Data and Analytics. Let's give a quick shout out to all these vendors who have stepped up early. Now, it's also important to note, while we know some departments are eager to move forward, early transitions will only be approved on a case-by-case basis to support a smooth national rollout. And as vendors continue to reach readiness, please don't assume that means your department can automatically begin transitioning ahead of your assigned rollout phase. Coordination is key, and we're here to help that process the right way. So now that we've covered which vendors have earned their Nerys badge, we want to take a few minutes to spotlight what this transition looks like from the vendor side. This is the first of many vendor status check-ins we'll be hosting over the next few months. Today, we're excited to welcome Carr Blankenship, Jesse Rubio, and Justin Dillard from First Due, one of the early RMS vendors to successfully integrate with Nerys. The team is here to give us a few quick updates on where First Due lands today, what their users can expect, how they're helping departments prepare for this transition, and a sneak peek at how Nerys looks in their system. Guys, welcome, and thanks for being here. We're excited to have you join us today. With that, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Awesome, Chief. I appreciate you having us today. It's much appreciated, and it's good to see that you guys are doing these webinars and getting everyone ready. So, like you said, it's Carr, myself, and Justin, as well as Chris French from the First Due team here that are going to be kind of just giving you a quick overview of who we are at First Due and what we're doing to prepare for Nerys, and jump into a quick kind of Q&A with you after that, Chief. But with that, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a quick background on First Due and who we are and what we do. So First Due is an end-to-end comprehensive platform for fire and EMS that's actively being used by over 2,000 agencies across North America now. So we've been acknowledged as the fastest growing fire and EMS solution and fire and EMS platform on the planet for 3 years straight, which is something that we are extremely proud of. We have customers from small rural volunteers all the way up to large metro departments, which really shows that the functionality of our platform is able to meet the needs of all fire and EMS organizations. And from a company perspective, we have the resources, the ability, and the experience to implement agencies of all sizes. A lot of the recognitions that you see on the screen on the next slide, if you wouldn't mind, Chief. Awesome. Thank you, sir. A lot of those recognitions you see there are due to the fact that we do offer a fully comprehensive platform for fire and EMS agencies. Important parts of First Due is we are a cloud-based solution. We are device agnostic, meaning we are you can access First Due from an iPad, a cell phone, a tablet, and it's going to act the same across all of them. All the modules that you see on the product wheel on the next slide are modules that are designed in-house and built and maintained by First Due, which is also something that we are extremely proud of. And everything is also available under one login with First Due. With that, I'm going to turn over to Justin Dillard to do a quick overview of our Nerys solution and kind of answer some quick questions for you after that with Carr.
Excellent. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Chief. I'm going to take the screen from you just very quickly to show you just a little bit about what we're doing here. Like you said, my name is Justin, and you should start to see a run form on your screen. And I thought we'd start here. Chief Morin said just a couple minutes ago, it's important for us to be able to really define our incidents. And I think this is really exciting. And what you're looking at here is a NERIS compliant run form. And being able to do things like quickly pick what was our primary incident type compared to any specific modifiers. And as I'm making choices in these new data sets, these systems are way more high tech. They're going to start to show and hide fields. They're also going to say, hey, if we did have, some sort of structure fire, as an example, the system is immediately going to say, great, we have a fire with structure and involvement.
Hey,
That's
Justin.
also going to show us down the side of the screen, we have new requirements immediately that need to be filled out, right? And this is where I think some of the really exciting things with NERIS come into play. We've been talking a lot about data today and decision making and really having operational data, at the time of the event. So that if I took this structure and maybe we had a second type of incident where we had somebody that was injured due to trauma or burns, that I can fully document what we did in an event like this. The last thing I want to highlight when we talk about documentation and why this makes sense is something we built into our system through a little AI bot. And I think this is exciting for people that fill these records out on a day-to-day basis. Could we speed up this process? And so I'm going to go ahead and record my voice here. But if we said the crew was called to a single family dwelling for a structure fire, upon arrival, there was smoke showing from the front door. There was a family standing at the end of the driveway telling us the house was unoccupied. The house was unoccupied and verified during primary search. Crews found a small fire in the kitchen that had extended into an upstairs bedroom. The fire was extinguished without incident. Salvage and overhaul was performed. Crews returned to the station without incident. That I can ask these systems to now analyze what I've told it and fill out the NERIS boxes for me. Now, I'm not locked into any of those things. I can go in and change them if I need to, but this is a giant time saver when we talk about we're populating the run form for them and writing them a narrative where we're now applying this. This then drives good data and good data collection, allowing us to do reporting and analytics, right? We want real-time dashboards always showing us what our department is doing, whether we're looking at response times, or in this case, I'm just looking at some fire data. But if we wanted to get into things like effective response force and having all of that data at our fingertips because we're collecting it in a consistent manner nationwide, being able to set up KPIs and other alerts. And so I'll pause there and we're happy to answer questions. But I think that's just a really good overview of what we're doing and where we're at, obviously having that NERIS badge on our website. So thank you for taking the time with me today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that. Thanks for sharing that with us. And are we at the correct slide for you guys?
If you wouldn't mind just popping one more over, Chief, that'd be great.
Yep.
I'll leave this here while you're doing your kind of quick Q&A with Carr, but what I just want to touch on here is if you guys are, anyone on the call, if you're a current First Due customer and you do have specific NERIS questions, please just reach out to your client success manager. And for those of you who are not with First Due and are interested in learning more, you can scan this QR code and get some more information about us. But with that, Chief, I'll turn it back over to you to do your questions with Carr. Thank you again for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. That was great. And real appreciate you sharing how First Due is helping fire departments navigate the NERIS transition. And I just had a couple of questions. I think you covered most of them, but what should departments in California using your system do next to prepare?
Yeah, hey, thanks, Chief. Carl Blankenship, product manager. So we have, as previously mentioned, we have several customers in the state of California. So any existing customers we have can work with their customer service representatives to reach out, and if they are one of the early adopters and they are have been approved by the state fire marshal's office, they can reach out and submit to try to become part of our beta testing pool. As you showed with your transition map, the NERIS rollout plan, California is not scheduled to actually make the official transition until the October timeframe. However, here at First Due, we're opening up our NERIS solution to be available for transition as early as June. Now, with that, we are adhering to the NERIS rollout map, and then we are also taking in considerations for those special cases, as you mentioned, Chief. That would be for our current customers. Anybody that is looking to make a switch to their RMS vendors, of course, as you roll on, you would work with our implementation team. If you are again accepted as an early adopter, or if it comes into alignment with that October-November timeframe, we would just onboard you directly onto NERIS instead of NFIRS. That's an option that we're allowing our customers to be able to do when they make a switch from RMS vendors. It's going to allow you to have a cleaner data set. What we don't want to do is bring somebody on, they're on NFIRS, they have to learn NFIRS for a month or so, and then they make the switch to NERIS. We want to bring you on, make sure that you have data integrity, and when you come on board with First Due, you have a clean data set.
Awesome. Yeah, we've been working close with the First Due and the NERIS team on that. So thank you. Is there any specific contact or web page for the departments needing NERIS support, other than the QR code that's up there right now?
Yeah, so if you go out to our website and look at our product offerings underneath incident documentation, we do have some dedicated web page out there that speaks to NERIS and our NERIS solution. So that would be for anybody that's public facing. And then again, for any of our internal customers, any of our support can be handled through your normal support channels, whether that's through your customer service representative or through support if you're actually already onboarded with the NERIS solution.
Okay, awesome. And then I know there are some departments currently still being cleared for early adoption that we're working with. But do you have any other California fire departments that are early adopters?
I know that we currently have 130 departments in California. I'm not privy to the actual number of the early adopters within that 130 that we currently serve. I don't know, Jesse, if you know the answer to that.
From an early adopter standpoint in California specifically, Chief, I believe the first 3 or 4 agencies that you brought up on your map towards the beginning of this are using First Due.
Okay.
As far as the other early adopters that you mentioned, though, we are not working with them currently.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for being on here today, and appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you for having us, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're looking forward to checking in with another RMS vendor next month as we continue to bring these updates directly to you. Now that we've looked at the big picture and the rollout phases, let's focus in. What do you and your department need to be doing right now to be ready for NERIS? It's really about 4 simple steps. Identify. Designate your department's NERIS lead and confirm your vendor's readiness. Gather. Collect updated information on your operations, personnel, and service areas. Prepare. Review your unit's inventories, your CAD and RMS integration setup, and your local agreements. And share. Make sure your team and neighboring departments know what's happening and what's needed. This preparation work is what's going to make the transition to NERIS smooth, so you're not scrambling when your department's onboarding window opens. I know it's still just April, but if you're like me thinking, whoa, where has this year gone already? Then you should be worried that you need to be ready sooner rather than later. The departments that get ready now are going to have the easiest path forward. NERIS is officially, NFIRS is officially entering its retirement plan. And just like any good retirement plan, there's deadlines and paperwork. And if you don't prepare, it gets messy. We're about to cover the key dates you need to know to make sure your department is ready. Because unlike NFIRS, you don't get to ride off into the sunset just yet. Here's the reality. 2025 is a hybrid year. Once your department moves to NERIS, you're done submitting to NFIRS. January 1st of 2026, no more NFIRS submissions, period. All incident data must be entered into NERIS. January 15th of 2026, this is the last day to submit 2025 incidents into NFIRS if you're still wrapping things up. January 31st of 2026, this is the final day to edit or modify any 2025 NFIRS incidents. After that, the door closes for good. Look, NFIRS hasn't earned its retirement. NFIRS has earned its retirement. But if you don't help pack its bags properly, you're going to be stuck sorting out paperwork, and nobody wants that. And just an important reminder, your agency retains ownership of your NFIRS data. You're just moving to a better modern system designed for the real world. As we wrap up today, one of the most important things you can do is stay informed. NERIS is moving fast, and yes, we know it's aggressive, but staying ahead of it will make your life a lot easier. Scan the QR codes on the screen to access the latest frequently asked questions, training videos, and department-specific updates from CalStats. And if you haven't already, sign up for the NERIS email updates. It's the easiest way to keep your department ready. We know the transition won't be perfect, and NERIS won't be either when it first launches. But here's the reality. NERIS is a major step forward, and your participation, your feedback, and your preparation will make it even better. By staying engaged, you're helping shape the future of fire data reporting for California and beyond. Let's make sure California leads the way. Thank you for spending time with us today, for hanging in there with me through a little bumps along the way, and for being part of this transition. All right, Kara, I'm handing over the reins back over to you. Thanks again for assisting me with this today.
Absolutely. Now we will be opening it up for questions and answers. So if you have a question, please go ahead and raise your hand. And just confirming, Chief, do you see my question slide?
I do now, yes.
Perfect. Okay. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and raise your hand or type them into the Q&A section of your screen. I believe I did see a question in the chat to the panelists. And it was, what software is the software being hosted on? But it went away. So I don't know if that question is still valid. If that was you, please go ahead and raise your hand. Oh, I see Stephanie. I will allow you to speak. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Stephanie, I think you're still on mute.
Okay, we will move on. I do see a question in the chat from Rick. He said, will Image Trend be able to auto send monthly incidents to NERIS?
Yes, and from what I'm hearing from Image Trend, it'll be a daily thing. Automatically.
Hey, Chief, this is Justin from First Do. Can I add some color to that
Yep.
for vendors in general? So all the vendors, to be certified, we have to comply with the NERIS APIs to submit the data to NERIS on behalf of the fire department. And really, most fire departments are choosing to almost send those in near real time. So once calls are completed, they have the ability to be exported off to the NERIS system.
Okay, thanks, Justin.
And I see a question, will ESO import daily as well?
Yes.
Okay, and then one more in the chat, and then I thought I saw a hand up. Is there a website or document available that spells out the specific information that we should gather prior to cut over GIS types and number of engines / equipment, etc.?
Yeah, there's some information I can send you. If you can provide me with your email or send me an email, we'll get that to you.
Sorry about that. Next question. NFIRS has never been able to separate just an exposure from a level 1 severity injury. Has this been remedied in NERIS?
I will have to get back to you on the specific of that. I believe so, but we'll have to confirm that.
Next
And I have your
question.
email address. Thank you.
Okay. Next question. Will organizations be able to use aggregate data for research purposes?
I would say yes, it's going to be all public data.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, we will go ahead and close this portion of the webinar. And now on your screen, you will see all of the remaining dates for the NERIS webinar series through October. Please save these dates, write them down, and if you follow us on social media, we will be posting for each series. Please register for each one at our webinars page. Each webinar does require its own registration, so please register for each one separately. And be sure to subscribe for all updates from the Office of the State Fire Marshal as well on our subscription page. And this link, as well as the webinars page link, will be available on the slide deck that we will post on our website following this webinar. Okay, thank you all. Chief, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Okay, thank you all. Have a good rest of your day.